All right, everybody, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. I try not to be late because I catch hell from one certain individual. Wouldn't it be easier if I'd just be late and block him? Wouldn't that be easier?
That would be a lot easier.
All right. Next time he starts his bitching, he gets blocked. And I'm gonna be late whenever I want to be late. All right, Jabe. It's moist morning to you.
It's your
Hope
show.
everyone else is having a nice moist morning. I'm in old man pain this morning. Okay, so I'll tell you a story. I was messaging back and forth with Marcia Harlan's lady, and she sent a picture of Harlan cleaning her gutters. I'm like, when he gets done, send him over here. Mine are terrible too. And she says she would not share her man, which, damn it. So I clean my own gutters. Here's a lesson: wear gloves.
Holy Lord, what do you got in your gutters?
The shingles are overlapping, and hurt my hand.
There he is. You can block him now.
They were full of dirt. They were full. Okay. Let me open this up on YouTube. Sometimes you have to be the parent, right? Oops. Okay, where is he? Put user in timeout.
They have these things called work gloves.
Okay, baseball. You're in timeout for 1 minute for your disrespect to the program. We cannot be having that kind of
work gloves, Scott. Work gloves.
Okay.
The last time I cleaned my gutters, it took me about 45 minutes to watch the guys that I paid to do it.
Yeah, so Josh, it had been 4 years since I did them the last time, and they were so full of dirt that I had to dig the dirt out, and that's why. And so last night, everybody else was mad that it rained, I was enjoying the rain last night because I was watching my wonderful work of my gutters all working like they're supposed to. Because the front flower beds, after the last rain, I looked in there and all it was doing was going right over the top of the gutters and right to the flower beds and destroying. Mm-hmm. I'm like, before I finish the flower beds, I should fix the gutters. Damn it!
What sort of gutter guard you can put on that, or
those things don't work.
Nah, it's not. There are certain kinds that do.
They're expensive, but
yeah, there's a company that wants to come out and do that for $3,000.
You can get all new gutters for that.
I know.
All right. Good morning, Kim. We got Josh in here this morning. We shouldn't even say hello to Craig, but hello, Craig, Laura, Martha, Vintage Memories, Helen Profits, Flippy Good, and Nissa. I did not miss you there because shout out to the big girls in this. I think I got a big girl line. She's telling me that, oh my God, John's awake at freaking 8 o'clock. What the hell? So the worst part about the gutters too is I'm laying in bed last night. I wake up at 3:30 and I'm like, why do my legs hurt so bad? So when you climb up and down the ladder 100 times because you can only reach this far, and then so when you go all the way, oh man, my thighs are killing me. So there you go. So I had to get up and take Advil this morning because I'm old. It's a terrible story, isn't it?
Been there, Josh, done that.
Josh, I'm there every day. I ache.
So that's the story of this week. My hands are all beat up because Marcia is selfish. That's my story.
Or you're cheap. You could have just hired somebody,
Okay, I am cheap and I am lazy. I'll give you that.
Well, not lazy if you got out there and did it.
Yeah, but once every 4 years, they were way overdue. Here's Joni's reaction to this whole thing. You know what Joni does? Joni goes, I want to go out and look outside just to see the gutters, what they look like without the little baby trees in them. Like, really?
Mine had trees in it when they were pretty good sized trees too. It took them a good 45 minutes to clean them out.
Starting a Christmas tree farm on your eaves. Yeah.
All right, baseball, you're probably out of timeout. The next time you're so disrespectful, I'll have to make it 5 minutes. then after that, I think the next one jumps to 10 and then 20. It's terrible. Hey Primo, what's up, man? No, Barbie, we'll do it this Monday. So everybody, I was going to do it this Monday, but I didn't think I talked it up enough. Atomic Habits on Monday night. I am in the last chapter and a half. This book is really. So I don't know how much I have learned the thoughts on how to do things but as I listen to it, I can't read because so I have to listen to it and I'm actually going on a trip tomorrow and Friday, so I'll finish it tomorrow morning at the butt crack of dawn. It really explains to you why you do things you do and gives you some helpful advice on how to undo some of these bad habits. He dare you to do it again. Ron, your post disappeared. That might be because you're old and erased it.
I can guarantee you, Ron, that we didn't erase it.
I didn't erase it.
I don't think I can from StreamYard.
But it's a really helpful book. I will put it in the same class as one of the other books. It's one I'll have to listen to again to get the full.
Is that Commonwealth Picker in the chat? Holy Lord!
Holy hell! What's up, Kevin? I had to school your buddy Paul that an old man can still outpick him at a yard sale. So that was that. My van got like 5 miles per gallon less carrying big ass Paul around. Can you believe that?
I'm surprised he could get in and out of it. He's so friggin' tall.
So that's the beautiful thing about the Toyota is the seats go way, way back. And so even Jacob's right at 6 feet tall. You have so much leg room in that Toyota. It's absolutely amazing, the back seats. They couldn't figure out the back doors. I had to teach them how to open back doors. I'm like, y'all are lucky I don't put child locks on here. Because if I put the child locks on here, y'all wouldn't buy anything today. And yeah, so it's way better without John and Josh. Yeah.
Well, Josh got a shout out from Pete.
Y'all notice that I have to every time I'm with him, I'm drinking, right? So there's a reason for that, right?
Thank you, Queen City Picker.
But and he gets back in the van one time, and man, Paul goes, "You look like you were going to leave me." I'm like, "No, I'm not going to leave you," but I didn't say the thought had crossed my mind. We had a lot of fun, folks. I'm telling you right now, Kevin will tell you the same thing. Going to yard sales is a lot of fun, but going to yard sales with friends, man, it's absolutely a blast. Me and Harlan have such fun every Saturday. I look forward to every Saturday because of the craziness that we're going to get into. So having Jennifer, Joni, and Paul there in the van in Nashville, absolutely a great time. And if you're not giving each other crap, are you really friends?
Nah.
I don't think so.
Nah.
So if no one is subscribed to Commonwealth Picker, y'all might want to check him out. Kevin's got a little channel. You might find him on every single social media platform about 24/7. You can't hide from you can't hide on any platform. Kevin is coming for views. So
I think I even saw him on Kick the other day. That's a joke. So
I don't even know what that is.
It's a new platform.
Kevin's link came up on my black and white tube TV. I mean, he's everywhere.
But I think Kevin and I might be doing some of the same stuff. As I watch his videos and he's trying to raise his average sales price, and
He's my son.
And I'm trying to make it where everything fits in the smaller boxes. Everything larger is going to auction. Trying to refine, except that damn lawnmower, because it was already in its box, and it was such an easy thing to deal with. It even had the original UPS label on there, which told you how much it weighed. I didn't even have to weigh it if I didn't want to. I did, but so I made $260 on that lawnmower, and I've still got one of the extra install kits listed for $100. So,
Periscopes.
So
I even heard. I even heard that Commonwealth Picker was on Prairie Grit still.
So Ken said he picked the fall in Nashville on Friday, and that was super fun. It absolutely is. It is. Everybody has such different. And who was I watching the other day that it must have been Paul's video where he was at a yard sale and they watched Kevin. They knew who Kevin was, but they didn't know who Paul was.
I saw that.
And they had all that damn Tupperware because Kevin told them about Tupperware.
I've had that happen to me at a yard sale. They saw my GoPro when I used to do that, and they're like, "We watch this one guy on YouTube. He's bearded something," and like, yeah, rub it in.
That's the reason why I'm stuck with these pots and pans over here because of Kevin.
Tupperware.
But Kevin, I would like to thank you for the Tupperware because I've been running that through the auction. It does really good at the auction. I've got one over there. Where is it at? I would not even thought to look at this thing up, Kevin. Y'all realize how much these things are worth? Did I show this already?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not on a Wednesday.
Oh yeah, Magnolite. Yes, absolutely.
I paid $35. I gave him $25 for it. That's $200.
Mm-hmm.
So that $200 is sponsored by Commonwealth Picker. So there you go. Baseball is back from the dead and says $10. So there you go. But it's for folks that had a great week. If you haven't seen, I think I've talked about it on several channels, including the podcast. Which are you listening to the Triple P podcast, 3 Ps and a Pod podcast? That's what I'm gonna refer to it as the 3 Ps and a podcast.
Never heard of it.
Not Trash to Cash, not them dudes. So I woke up the other morning. I'm talking to Dave, Smoky Dave. Everybody knows Dave, Bongo Dave. You got one too? Yeah, those odd, bigger shapes are cool.
Should I just go pick out mine out of the? Oh, I don't have one.
Magnolite.
Yeah, roaster. I bet that roaster's up there too. It's well over 100, I bet.
Missing the trivet, so that'll take $20 off. But it's still $120 like this.
Yeah, so that aluminum's. But one word of advice: if you've got those things, be careful. If you're like that one, I want to shine up just a little bit. Be careful what you put on it. That aluminum is a lot of the caustic chemicals we have today will scratch it up and tear it up and make it look ugly. That one is. The guy said, I've got the rest of the set in the house. We still use it. We've never used the big one. I'm like, okay, I'll take the big one.
I would have asked him for the rest of the set.
So Dave said, did you sell your whatever the item was? I don't even know what the item was. And I'm like, no, it's an Axe product. I'm like, no. He goes, because you're not on the list anymore. And so I'm like, oh, that's weird. Why would Amazon just take me off the listing? So I put it back on, didn't think anything of it. My sales sucked that day and the next day. And I'm like, maybe it's because I've bought all this stuff and I really hadn't done the repricer. So I'm going to start putting the stuff on the repricer. And then I quickly noticed none of the health and beauty is on the repricer. None of it, all that shit is not listed anymore. And so nearly everything except the DVDs were gone. All the listings, 150 listings, all the Barbie listings, all the everything listings gone. And I had noticed that I had to, when I logged into Amazon, it made me pick a marketplace. It made me relog in and do all the secondary stuff. All the saved logins were gone. And then as I go to put this stuff back up, about 40% of it, I'm gated in. it's listings that I've been on for a while and products that I've sold for years. It's just so I appreciate that, Amazon.
Hardgate or just
Oh yeah, Hardgate.
Ooh.
Hardgate. Oh, I'm gating on Suave for God's sake, like the bargain
Suave?
brand of Suave, bargain brand of the world.
I'm gonna go check that, see if I'm gated in it still or yet.
And I'd read some where they were doing some of that kind of stuff, and everybody goes, "Well, check your account health. You had to have done something." There's nothing in my account health. I didn't do shit. I follow the rules, folks.
I'm gated in Suave too now.
Understand that you're talking to someone who sees black and white. Yeah, I don't skirt rule. I don't see gray. If it's wrong, I don't do it. If there's any kind of issue, I stick it on eBay because eBay doesn't care.
So, what was your solution? Are you going to get ungated, or are you just?
My solution is this is the last podcast. I'm leaving reselling. I'm going to quit.
Yeah, I would too with a hard blow like that.
I have to go out and tell David, the lawnmower guy, that I can't afford him no more because I'm quitting reselling.
I'll tell you, I hear that you can deliver groceries and make some decent money.
Yeah, I'm not that crazy. So I've heard the van being the larger van, I can be Uber Plus or Uber whatever and charge more money. Good morning, Doug and Roe or Doug or whatever. Major Win. Those guys are a lot of fun. Check those out. Check them out. They're newer YouTubers. Go over there with me and laugh at all their mistakes. That's what we do with new people. But yeah, so Trash to Cash is a serious reselling podcast.
Is it?
Thanks to Trash to Cash, we know how old Kevin is, how short he is.
I have never watched it. I'll have to give it a try.
We now know that whenever they do meetings, they expect nothing out of Kerry because he contributes nothing, according to the last podcast.
I never knew Kevin was a swinger until I watched Trash to Cash podcast.
Oh yeah, I never knew Kevin was a swinger until he did Trash to Cash.
Oh, you guys are gonna make me watch this.
It's weird. So I could watch Trash to Cash and be fine, but I can't watch ADH Dave's individual videos. Is that weird?
No.
It's just strange. I don't know. It's just one of those things. But yeah, so we're
switch topics like 10 times.
I did it,
in
Kevin.
A minute.
Yeah,
I did it, Kevin.
Yeah, pineapples.
I subscribed.
Yeah, so we are actually recording today sometime the 3 Ps in a Pod podcast. So not weird at all.
Well, here, take this for example. A lot of people see me on this show, but nobody ever watched my own stuff. So I get it. It's not weird. I will regret it. I already know it.
So there are a bunch of podcasts out there, and each one of them has a purpose. Commonwealth Picker, those guys at Trash to Cash are comedic relief. They do deliver some good information, and they trick that a lot like I do. I'll talk about the stuff here, but I'm not going to hold your hand to teach you if you can't glean information and understand when we're talking about situations and answering questions. I don't think this is the right business for you. 3 Ps in a podcast. We seem to be a little more serious. What's up, Don? Good morning. Good morning, Mary. Do you have your headphones on this morning? There we go. Yeah, I was shocked. Kevin's dad is 67. How do they keep talking about how old Kevin is? And my mother's 77. What the heck?
Yeah, my mom's about that age too. I'd have to look it up. But she's in that range.
Todd said you could be Kevin's daddy.
Yeah.
Damn, that's terrible.
I may be. I was in California in the 70s for a little bit.
My mom is 76.
But it's
quick math.
So when things don't go your way, and I can promise you, things are not always going to go your way. Ask any eBay seller last year. and what they're still dealing with, inconsistent sales, non-existent sales, changes in search, all the things, oversaturation of the market, the bad economy, all these things it's how do you react? So what am I doing with Amazon? First off, I've been sticking I got everything back listed except for the Barbies. I'm gonna send them to auction now. They do fairly decent at the auction. I'm just ready to be done with them. I've got everything listed back that I can get listed back. And then I've got them set aside for the stuff that needs to be on eBay, and about half of that's done. Folks, I might being gated. I'm gonna tell you the secret about being gated. It is a temporary issue. You can get ungated. This is not the end of the world. I can find 10 items of Suave at an approved supplier, submit the invoice, and be ungated in Suave and all the rest of these brands. Again, it is a temporary problem. It's a setback. Hey, Kevin, did you first comment on we were in a group chat last night. I'm like, the first comment on our last podcast was, did you see the look on Josh's face when Beard grabbed the whiskey bottle?
He lost his train of thought. He couldn't go on for a minute.
Yeah.
That was funny.
So if Silverhair, Todd, if you're adopt Kevin, he'll put you in the if you can put him in your wheel. But I think that should be the other way around.
I'm going broke buying dog biscuits. I can't adopt Kevin.
Kevin, we're on he's selling little corners of he's got his backyard divided into a grid, and it's like a lottery. Everybody has to buy a square, and we're gonna all dig it up when he's dead to see if we're actually the winners where he put his gold.
That is a unique idea, and I think I might do that. There ain't gonna be any gold though.
So, it's a temporary problem. No sales on eBay should be a temporary problem, folks. It's understand. I treat eBay as an experiment. So what have I done with eBay lately? I cut half the eBay off because I think sell through is so important, and so I've cut it down. And imagine that my sales are up with half of the. I cut all the down when all the remotes are gone, folks. It should be a lesson. If you want to sell stuff like remotes sell great, but their sell through for the most part is not wonderful. Put them on their own store. eBay's not Amazon where they scrutinize everything you do. If you want 10 eBay stores, have 10 eBay stores. You just need the email address, for God's sake. This ain't hard. People are so entitled. They think they're entitled to sales without any work. Look at Kevin. In Kevin's last video, he's thrilled to death that he's got less to ship and made more money. That's winning. And people will not use Bonanza. Bonanza is a no-brainer. It syncs over there. I got a Bonanza. I get at least 2 Bonanza sales a week. Okay, 2 Bonanza sales a week. Throughout the year, that's 100 extra sales. Did I send a remote to Rockstar? No. Patrick, you're exactly right. And so what does inflation do? I try not to do politics, so I just want to talk about the number of inflation. What does inflation do to a consumer? It reduces their purchasing power. So that means that now they're spending an average of, so if they say 3.4%, it's probably 10 at a minimum. The government lies. And so the government lies like Kevin swings. There you go. Kevin sold 900 on Bonanza this week. Folks, that is so easy. That's the easiest thing to do. Stick it on Bonanza and let it ride. I heard TrueGetter was the same thing too. I'm going to check on that. If it is, I'm going to let it ride. What's the other thing I'm doing? I will open my Walmart account today. Yes, the government lies, unfortunately.
Did your microphone switch or something? You have some little bit of feedback sometimes, at least on my end. Just wondered.
Yeah. Well, the lawnmower's going by. I don't know if it's interfering with the lawnmower.
Maybe it is.
That's probably that.
And so I'm trying things different. Cut the store in half, list better items, only list small things. Today starts the same day or next, only one day of handling instead of two, because I really think shipping is the difference. Folks, I ordered a set of keys the other day. It took 9 days to get here from Georgia. It's not like they were coming from Alaska. They weren't sending them from Ukraine and they were fighting a war and all that shit. From Georgia to here, 9 days. 9 days from Georgia. That's ridiculous. That's what that makes eBay look terrible. 9 days.
You could walk to Georgia in 9 days.
You know what the worst thing is? They took 9 days to get here. I had an email and a tracking number in 15 minutes. In 15 minutes, I have a message saying, here's your tracking number. Your item's been shipped. 9 days later, it gets here.
Did they actually ship it late, or was it just the post office?
So it's not Ground Advantage, Tom. This was on a Sunday. It didn't hit the post office till Thursday or Friday one. So it.
So they said they shipped it, but they didn't ship it till. Yeah.
So they made a label and waited 4 or 5 days to put it in the mailbox,
or have it picked up, or actually process it, whatever it is.
Yeah, I get that a lot on, especially the bigger sellers on eBay. They say they printed or shipped it, but it doesn't go out for a few days.
Yeah, we forgot the promo out for Kevin Dibbit. We forgot about District and Dibbit, and we think he's like a 50% owner of District.
I have.
Make sure y'all support Kevin on District.
I'm thinking about making my own district. It's going to be called Dingbat. Close, but not the same.
Dibbit, Dingbat. That's pretty damn close. So Ken,
I'm just trying to get some of that Kevin traffic is what I'm trying to do.
This summer, Ken, those boxes will be available. There's pictures of them. They're getting marketing material up right now. It should be this. I would think late June, early July. I would think, if I only knew somebody whose wife worked at the post office and sells Ground Advantage, I'll ask him today. Dave's wife works in the post office in the sales department for Ground Advantage. I'll ask him I'll see if he can get some information. We can break it here, just like Rockstar. I'll put breaking news on there, and we'll make a video, and it'll be wonderful.
Breaking news: Macari redoes their.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna make a video. Oh my God, Macari back to they found the error of their ways, and they're reinstituting their old return policy. That is,
I wish I didn't care so much about the return policy. It was the buyers paying all the fees policy that I'm not.
Surprised CNN didn't break in and break in with that one.
I know, right? Hey, Rockstar does a service to the community. I'm not gonna say he doesn't, but
I don't have any problem with it. I'm just messing with him. I've met him quite a few times.
He needs the music before he does that stuff, though.
Yeah,
it would make it so much better.
Yeah, check out John's channel. He did put out a post showing the Ground event. If you're not subscribed, Flipping Ain't Easy. What the hell? But yeah, he put a community post out showing what the boxes are going to look like. So that's how I knew there was more.
I didn't know there was going to be Ground Advantage boxes.
Kevin, it's on. Obviously, you're not subscribed to him or any of that kind of stuff, but it's okay. It's on his. It's a community post on his channel. It's a marketing picture. But we react, so it's you're business people, folks. It makes a difference how you react to this stuff. Bad things happen. It's an opportunity for you to learn, to grow, to try new things. The worst thing you can do in this business is stay stale, because I can promise you this time next year, there'll be stuff that is so crazy and other things that are happening that, because I've been full-time on this since 2013. There's been a scandal every year with every platform. There's been issues. Amazon has been stealing people's money since since the dawn of time. Jeff Bezos. Everybody thinks that he built all his wealth through stock and all that stuff. He actually took it from sellers. If you look at the stories of how much money Amazon has kept because they have suspended your account for a violation of part 3 of the business services, and then won't give you your money back. Where you signed up for arbitration, you got to go, and you could be missing your money for years. Look what they did to the guy who was in their real estate department. They tried to bankrupt him and have him thrown in jail because they accused him of wrongdoing. This is all over social media, and the guy lived in Washington. Had the FBI raid him, freeze all his accounts. They tried to destroy that man, but yet the only thing you hear about is eBay sent some people over there, put a horse head in somebody's bed, and they all go crazy. But and rightly so, those people are serving jail time. But Amazon gets away clean. Bill, I like the boxery. Their boxes, Charlie's been very solid. The boxes are great. They are stupid fast shipping. You'll never accuse the boxery of not getting to. If I order something today, it'll be here Friday morning. They are stupid fast. Tucker Carlson, Retro John, I'll have to check that out. I'm currently. I just started listening to his. He just posted yesterday with Aaron Rodgers. It's been very interesting. I've left the first 20 minutes of it. So yeah, Phil. I know there was the bubble wrap scandal and all that crazy shit, but that was everybody got shimmed on that one, except for American Bubble Boy, and they're absolutely wonderful. There's links to all these folks in the chat in the thing below. And that's who. So what do you do when you find something bad? Do I walk away from the boxery and the great boxes they have and the cheapest boxes on the internet? No. I just buy I just buy bubble wrap from American Bubble Boy.
There you go.
It's American Bubble Boy doesn't sell boxes, or I'd buy them from him. It's part of being a professional. You gotta buy your own boxes. I know y'all didn't want to hear that. Good morning from Tishomingo, Mississippi. All right, James. I've probably been there. Josh, have you not watched my videos with spray paint? You can make any box work for anything. You want to use a priority box, go to the Dollar Tree, the $1.25 tree, get you a can of black spray paint or whatever. Be festive and use gold.
They don't sell spray paint.
If you're gonna upgrade your shipping, do gold shipping. Spray paint it gold. That shows you care. So Amazon seller interview by Tucker is Molson Hart. All right, I'm gonna check that out. Yeah. So Kevin says been begging him to add boxes. Look, he's gonna do poly bags and bubble mailers. It's we can send him a lot of business, Kevin, for boxes. I'm telling you, boxes. But I guess but then you run into people like Steve. Run into people like Steve. It's hard to find good help. You tell Steve that he's got to do so many boxes and he's going to break your equipment.
What?
Didn't you used to work at a box factory?
Yes, I probably broke a lot of equipment while I was there.
Weren't you like the world's worst employee?
I didn't break equipment so much as I, caused, rebellions and things. And made them fix equipment. Yes.
Union.
No. You don't need a union when you got somebody like me. I am not a good employee. Not for the employers.
And not to mention, well, the problem is with boxes with the post office, they know the size of their boxes. They recognize their boxes. But
You can cover that thing in brown. I tried it once years and years ago. Covered a priority box in brown paper, and
I've
they
done
knew.
that. I've
They
done
knew.
that with I've sent a UPS where I covered the whole thing in paper tape.
Oh yeah, UPS is different, but
Um, yeah.
you
So,
shouldn't do that. By the way, that is a violation of the rules. Don't do that.
well, I've accidentally used an eBay box up for other platforms accidentally.
With yes, as long as you cover that eBay logo accidentally.
Accidentally, if you hit the arrow and it kicks out the 3-inch piece of tape, it's perfect over the eBay boxes on a 10 by 8 by 6 box. By the way,
Accidentally.
Especially, it makes a lot of difference now. They quit putting the big logo on it. Now it's just the little stuff. 3 inches there. There you go.
You see, eBay
Some
now.
of y'all think 3 inches is not enough, but there you go. 3 inches works.
eBay now has clothing bags. You can use your coupon for. I got them because I've got everything else. I didn't need anything. I wanted to try them. They're actually pretty decent little. They got a zipper top on them. They're nice.
Do you have the paper tape though? eBay paper tape.
I have eBay paper. I have everything.
That's for that. I saved that just for those people that go, please don't include an invoice and all the rest of that shit. Never do they ever say, please don't use eBay tape. They never say that.
I quit using the eBay tape only because it's good tape. The eBay paper tape is really good. But when I was selling on other platforms, I don't want to put eBay tape on it. So like for Whatnot, I don't want to put eBay tape on it. So right now I have plain tape in there.
They want to love you today, Chastity. So Chastity, if you've got a Staples or Office Depot, Staples, I know for sure carries paper tape. It's a lot more expensive than if you buy it by the case. But if in a pinch, you can go buy a Staples. If you got one near you, Staples does carry the paper tape. They're one of the few. Hey, Chris. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Larry.
Half the paper tape I got at yard sales.
Chris.
It's there's not James, I'm just saying if you've got one near you, it's an option because that's a rarity. Finding paper tape in the wild is like trying to find 3-inch tape in the wild. Either one of them are a tougher thing to find if you run out. Jess says she's got some that'll be here today. Nice, very nice. Chris got his internet fixed. No more dial-up. What? No way.
Chris,
so if you're not going to use paper
tomorrow night, don't you?
Yeah, they do one on Thursday nights. So check out Buck Mountain Barn on Thursday nights. It'll be interesting that he won't be fading in and out now. But yeah, Kevin's 100% right. I've talked about it for years. If you can't do paper tape, the 3-inch tape is amazing. Its ability to hold a box together is so much better than 100 pieces of 2-inch tape.
I'm currently, for some things, I still use 2-inch tape, and only because I don't use enough 3-inch right now because of the paper tape to buy 3-inch tape. But man, I hate that 2-inch stuff. I hate it.
You wouldn't think an extra inch makes a difference, but there you go.
It does. That's what she said.
I was trying to make all these jokes with a straight face. So are we coding Commonwealth?
You could go to just about any website on the internet and use the code Commonwealth and probably get a discount, is what I'm guessing.
So that should be, Kevin, that should be your new slogan. When an extra inch matters, code Commonwealth. So Sue said that she's bought some at paper tape cheap on Marketplace.
Yeah.
I've bought paper tape at yard sales. Imagine that.
I got 3 or 4 rolls at a yard sale for like $3 or $1 a roll. If people, they don't know what they got it. Who knows where they got it from? Some of these guys who clean out storage units come across that kind of stuff too, and they'll sell it to you cheap.
So Larry said he used code Commonwealth at his local car wash. Does that mean the short people come out and get your wheels done real good? That'd be a good one. You use code Commonwealth and some little midgets are, I'm sorry, short people.
Little people
Come out and scrub your tires and then go back in their little doors. That
Oompa Loompas or whatever.
man, when we were in Vegas and we went through the Zach Bagans Haunted Museum, and we were in that room with all them dolls, and that damn midget come out that hidden door.
I did not get a chance to go, so I need to go back to Vegas.
He almost took a knee to the head. Good God, because I was standing right there.
Y'all went the week before I got there, so I didn't get to go.
Yeah, you're all hyped up and you're like already on edge, and then he popped out the door like the little. Remember the old toys? You go.
I just want to see the Volkswagen bus in there.
But it's there's so much, so many people complaining about sales and about platforms. There's so few people offering answers, and if you do, for God's sake, if you do say something like, heaven forbid you say maybe it's the things you sell, you are hung, you are crucified, you're like Peter, you're hung up, you're crucified upside down. It's just crazy.
I don't like being upside down.
You can't. God forbid it's the economy has changed. How many people at thousands of people at a time do they have to tell? Go to the bins, buy mall clothes, list 100 a day, you'll be rich. Pay me $35 a month.
That's it. That's all it takes.
I'm surprised Kevin doesn't have a $35 a month club. That's where the real money is, Kevin. All these damn videos you do, all these videos and all this work you do, to hell with all that. $35 a month to be in the special Commonwealth Club. That's what you need. Get some pictures of some orphans or something and tell them you're helping support orphans. Yeah, it is. That is a good story. I sold some I'm gonna pay Petty Perfect electronic nail file refills. I bought a bunch of them things at Rite Aid. That's how long I've had them, and they've just been sitting on a shelf. I keep looking at them, and they're not worth shit. I only paid $1 or 50 cents up. I've got hundreds of them. I just stuck them back on the. The other day, I looked on Amazon. Nobody's got them, so they're now $12.99 each. I'm the only one with them.
Midget strippers in Oklahoma City.
Yeah. I mean, you should have checked it out. But how cheap was that hotel room? That's what I want.
Okay, so if you just stayed in your room, are you saying that you ordered room service? Is that what you're saying, Kevin? You ordered midget room service? Is that what it was?
I want to go see the wrestling matches. They keep advertising it on my Facebook.
But it's no answers. People. It's amazing how many people accept the fact that they're not selling and they have really been brainwashed into believing certain things. That God forbid you tell them anything that that they're paying a guru that has been suspended from how many platforms? When do you lose guru status?
Apparently never.
3-4 platforms.
Apparently, from what I've learned about gurus, I don't know if you guys know Scott Schaefer. He used to be an Amazon seller. Now he does
sensational videos.
Yeah, more sincere. But his points are good and valid. But if you watch some of that stuff, the CoffeeZilla, those kind of guys, the more trouble these gurus get into, the bigger they become. It's just crazy. So you get booted off a platform, you're not in the wrong. It's the platform that's in the wrong. And so
is that why? Yeah. Is that why Kevin keeps talking about his hats when he got 3-day suspension or whatever it was? Is that you're building up street cred, Kevin? Is that what it is?
There you go. It's not his fault. It's the platform, and that gives you some street cred right there. That's it.
Yes. But that's the one reason why I continue to watch Kevin over and over is he'll tell you what happened, but the next thing out of his mouth is what he's freaking doing about it. It's so important, folks. Things are going to happen in your life. It's a great life lesson. Whatever is going to happen, you've got to react to it.
I mean, it's not that hard to come up with Commonwealth Club, but
Yeah, if you do memberships, remember I gave you that idea. And
so what would yours be, Scott? The Beard Brigade or no?
you know how much fun we can have with that? Because everybody go, you can't do the beard brigade because it'd just be a bunch of dudes. Hey, there are other beards. There you go. We won't forget you ladies. and yeah, so I'm not going there, but there you go. Copyright it.
Bush Patrol.
But we're taking it back to the 70s.
Is this the Friday night show or
Take it back to the 70s.
Oh boy.
I wish I would give anything right now to have a bush beard just to break one open. That'd be awesome. Damn. Okay, so if it's just because they say it's a swingers club, would they be wrong? There you go. You had somebody drive to your house down your damn driveway just to show up to see you because of whatever. I mean, you got stalkers, swingers. They're not too far apart. There's answers to everything. People will tell you I use the AI descriptions whenever possible if there's not a description. And they'll go, oh, but they're too flowery. They're too this, they're too that. I'm telling you right now, eBay's history, every time they roll something out, you get some kind of advantage in their best match search by being an early adopter, adopting what they're offering. So a few years ago, they said use more than 2 pictures. You need 4 pictures minimum. How many people don't do 4 pictures still today? They told you that 3 or 4 years ago that we're going to do promoted listings, and you could stick it on a little over 1%, and it was so effective. And so many people would go, "Oh my God, I can't give them more than 1%." Now they're giving them 15%, crazy amounts, not even thinking about it. So why would the AI be any different? I really truly think that there's somewhere in there. If you're there's a checkbox. Are you using our programs? Are you using our stuff? Are you using our stuff? 1-day shipping? Check. Free shipping? Check. Free returns? Check. Oh, wait a minute. Use an AI description? Check. I think it all adds up.
I both like and dislike the AI. If you're not checking it, like a lot of people don't, they just use it and that's that. If you're not checking it, it's going to give some false information and increase some ads. But
yeah, so Spending Sense says stalkers, swingers. A husband and I were at a hometown bar where a man was a friend and invited him to a hot tub party for 4. Yeah, so next time we're on, get Harlan to relive the when Harlan and Chris were propositioned in Vegas. when they were like, when I think Chris might have been the first one to realize, and they're like, dude, we gotta get the hell out of here. It's just a theory, John. Remember, and why do I get there? Because I think they want to be Amazon and they're trying to do what Amazon does. Go read the Bezos letters. Amazon tracks where you hover your cursor on the screen when you're using your computer. They track everything about your interaction on that site. And they say it's for market research to understand how to better design the website so that you purchase. It wouldn't surprise me if they know you used it. That's all I'm saying. And I'm not saying it doesn't suck. I'm not saying Gemini is not better. I'm just saying I think that it could be a possibility. And yeah, Chassis, I tried that for the first time yesterday. I didn't care for it. So limited options. I think I only had like 3 options, and one of them was like on the ground or floor or something. I'm like,
it'll get better. I'm sure.
So where is the AI? So if they had a feature for like putting toes in there, I'd use it. If there was some like, if there was like a sandals with like a really overgrown toenail or something, I'd use that one.
When I first started delivering groceries for Walmart, I'd make sure that my feet weren't in the pictures. Nowadays, I just don't care. My feet are always. I don't care. I do it on purpose now. But for eBay, no, not so much.
So if somebody wanted a picture of something I was selling yesterday, I'm like, there you go. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, I put the feet in there.
I have not been as good at taking pictures for eBay lately as I used to be. Now I have a little card table set up right here next to me, and I take it on there, and there's a monitor I found in the garbage in the background, and sometimes it gets in there, still sells. So when I go back to full time again, then I will do better with the pictures.
John, don't put a video out. Constructive criticism, don't put a video out that everybody doesn't have the quality report. I don't have the listing quality report. A bunch of people in your comments, we don't have it. We don't have it. We don't have it.
How do you get it? How do you get it?
Stop showing off. It's under performance if you've got it. Stop showing off. We don't have that.
Let me look. Selling.
So Kevin says he likes the AI background.
Performance. Where do you find performance? Oh, there it is.
It's one of the tabs.
Yeah, I don't have it then. Summary, seller level, sales, traffic, sales metrics, learning resources.
It's under the summary. You should be able to see it or sales.
Oh, okay.
He's going to put out a part 2. Just to twist the knife a little more, part 2. Damn it. No, but I did notice that the AI background was much better than, what was it, with their background removal tool or whatever the hell that was. That eBay's background removal tool is awful. I just didn't like the background. It looked like it put it on the ground. I'm like, if I want to take a picture on the ground, I can take a picture on the ground.
Yeah, I don't seem to have it.
Yeah, me either. It's a conspiracy. I wonder if my second account has it. The one I never use. It's probably got it.
The funny thing is, I have an account from, I don't even know how old that, 1999, that I still have, and I never use. I gave it to my son. He uses it sometimes, but.
And I'm just gonna stay here. We're just gonna sell stuff merchant fulfilled all day.
My first eBay account, well, that isn't even my first eBay. My second eBay account, I opened with my ex-wife, and it's our initials. S is my name, H was hers, and then K and Z, which was my kids. And so that's the whole username, SHKZ. That tells you how old that account is. So
that's another Alma pay. Should I raise the price since I'm the only one? I've got it $11.99. Should I go $12.99? Or yeah,
I would give it a shot. Give it a shot.
Let's see what I'm charging.
That's an Amazon though. They'll probably price alert you.
Assholes. That's another thing. If you find a product that's good, but Amazon is price alerting, what do you leave it behind? Because eBay is not price alerting. Do you put it on eBay? Are you that stubborn that you can't do your shipping? Folks, I learned a long time ago that never, if it's a deal, it's a deal. You know, if you got to put it on eBay, so be it. Put it on eBay. You've got to have two. If you're going to do Amazon, you've got to have a second platform because there's so many issues.
Well, yeah. Look what happened to you.
Is Amazon
shit down?
Is Amazon good most of the time? Most of the time they are. Do they have an evil stretch? You're damn right they do. And you can be caught up in shit for no apparent reason. And you know, I can't get back on listings that I've been selling on for the last 6 months, 8 months, and there's people on there with like 3 feedback. I'm like, what the fuck, Amazon?
There's no rhyme or reason to how it happens.
I mean, that's the biggest thing. That's the problem with these platforms is they have this list of rules where they say everybody must do this, but then they treat everybody so freaking different. You know, everybody has such a different experience because the rules are not universally held against everyone. I don't care what the rules are. Let's know what the rules are. I'll play by the rules. But let's not have a set of rules. And then I get some rules. Steve gets some rules. Dave gets some rules. Why is it not the same for everybody? That's one of my big, and eBay does the same thing. You don't believe me? Go look at CPAP mask and see how many people are violating CPAP machines and masks and on and on and on.
But the moment I list one, I will get tagged for it. Not that I would list it, but it's happened. It's not even a CPAP mask. It's stuff that's legal to sell. And I get tagged for it. So, and I think once eBay, especially eBay, and maybe Amazon too, once you've been tagged for something, you are in the system. And
Todd,
you will get tagged the next time and the next time and the next time.
Todd, why are you looking for midget stripper coconuts?
I'm gonna look up Prairie Grit and see if it still exists.
It does. It did last year.
Flag's using coconut backdrops on his listings.
They're selling. Prairie Grit is now a place you can buy faucets. that's all it's on there.
So, I've heard that a lot of people try that. Try to put their coconuts in the pictures. I tried that, but I think I should have shaved before I did that.
And the faucets are in the lighting and ceiling fans category for some reason.
But all that, I mean, why do we allow that? And look at Amazon. Amazon tells you exactly 100% what the picture qualities are supposed to be. And you go look at the pictures, and there are some listings that are terrible. And get this, Amazon, the rules are so crazy. Amazon is now, if you go to list on a generic listing, it'll come up and warn you that you can't list on a generic listing. So why are you allowing a generic listing on the platform to begin with? Why is the person able to create a generic listing? Means they don't put the brand on there. And 99% of the time it's because they're not allowed on Amazon to use the brand. So what do? Just put generic. But now they're saying that you can't list on a generic listing that someone else has created. Why are they allowed to list on it? Why are they allowed to create it? They have broken your rules in order to get around. So say I want to sell some Diet Coke. Coke is a strong brand. So I would just sell my Diet Coke listing brand generic and then put Diet Coke in the title and sell Diet Coke. It's because I couldn't use Diet Coke. I couldn't use Coke as the brand. Because if I put Coke in the brand, it will come up and say, you're not eligible to list under this brand. So Larry Wayow says, on performance, click on summary. In the upper right-hand corner is a download listing quality report button. I bet you
$100 it's not there on mine, because I'm looking at it right now. It's not there on mine.
I've looked there, Larry, and it's not there.
Yeah, it's on mine, but you got to have Microsoft Excel to download it.
Wait a second here. Hold on.
Larry, there is no such button. It says, tell us what you think about this page. Okay, we're going to do that. Tell us what you think about this page.
Yeah, that's all I got.
1 star. Give me my performance.
There's a little arrow below mine, and I clicked on that. It gives me a review your sales download report thing.
It sucks that others have it, and there you go. What would you do? What would you do to improve this experience? Treat all sellers equal.
Later that day,
okay with being contacted about it? I'm not okay. Hit send.
And later that day, the beard was deactivated from eBay.
So I'll be on Trash to Cash podcast soon. Interviewing me about how I got my account suspended.
I wonder if that listing report download is in beta and only certain people have it. Is all.
So Chastity says she doesn't even like her reflection showing, much less her coconuts. See, Chastity, I think you're missing an opportunity to increase your sales. telling you right now. Buy this remote. Works. Buy this remote.
It depends on what your reflection looks like. I'm not saying that chastity doesn't look good, but they don't want to see my reflection. That's for sure. Rub it in, Jake.
So Chris said he just promoted an auction on eBay. When did they start charging you up front? They've always done that. Isn't it like $2 or something like that?
I do not know. I've never promoted an auction.
So Ping got it. I've got it.
I do not got it. How come I don't have it? Maybe it's on my other account. Let me go look.
Well, John just said it's in a beta, so maybe not everybody has it.
I'm gonna go look on my son's account and see if it's there.
Javis, it does work, or they wouldn't be doing it.
Oh, he's got.
I can't believe Doug and Roe left my show just to go do their own show. That's terrible. I thought they were supposed to be. I thought they were positive. That's negative right there.
Who left?
Major Win. They do a show this time in the.
Oh. I am so far out of reselling YouTube that I don't even know how to get to your podcast with the
it has its own channel.
I don't even know how to get there.
Profit Playbook Podcast. It has its own channel. I have to think about the title. I'm telling you, 3 P's in a podcast.
I think that's better by far.
3 pundits on a podcast. The 3 pundits podcast.
3 P's in a podcast. It makes sense.
3 punks.
The 3 punks. I was about to say.
If you don't take it, somebody else is gonna.
There is a 3 P's in a podcast, but it's a different.
Oh, is there?
You can have more of them. I don't know if they're active anymore.
Sure.
Let's see. We'll ask all things Apple, since that's what I have in my hands. Podcast.
The secret episodes? Ooh.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them. Their name that.
Can't remember his name, but we used to hang out with him years ago in a video. He wants to go after whatnot for people having live auctions without a license. Yeah, there's always people who want to do things like that. I don't know who he is. You'll have to give me more clues.
With each state being so different, I don't know how they're getting away with that.
I live in Ohio, and in Ohio, you allegedly are required to have an auctioneer license for online auctions, and I've been doing them with that knowledge in the back of my head. It worries me a little bit.
Dave is looking for a guest for the secret episode. See, I'm not eligible, I don't think, Kevin, because if you remember, you asked Dave, y'all were in Florida, and you asked Dave about the bearded picker, and he acted like he didn't know who the fuck I was. I've been on his channel and talked to him several years ago when he was in North Carolina. I'm like, man, that hurts.
I would bet that the person that you're talking about probably has an auctioneer's license, and that's why they're upset. But I don't know. I don't know who you're talking about. So.
Stage an intervention for Dave.
PA is just as bad, Jabus. PA and Ohio have the same auction laws. I'll just set up my base of operations out of North Carolina. Maybe they have better auction laws. I don't know. We'll see.
Dave doesn't need an intervention. Some things just work. Those 3 guys.
Oh, yes. I didn't listen to his video, but I did see that.
Yeah,
I did see that he did that video.
Trashy Cat, they just get along. You just when you watch people and they enjoy hanging out and carrying on and acting fools, You just gotta let them do it. That's it.
So they're saying it was Shane that did that video. I
Uh,
did see that he did a video about it. I started watching it and I fell asleep because it was incredibly boring. I mean, I was tired and I don't remember what he actually said.
So Kevin says he thinks auctioning your own stuff doesn't require a license or so.
Yes, that is correct. If it's your own stuff, which is the only things I don't sell any of this stuff on eBay. This is stuff that I have my personal collection. Yes.
I think Kevin's right. I've heard that too. Alabama
That is
laws are a little
correct.
more lax than Ohio's, but
You can't
your
just
own-
get your license in the state of Ohio. That's the problem. It's not easy to get here. You have to go to school and there's all sorts of regulations and yeah. So the state of Ohio, I only sell my own things. That's it. If I
Lag,
lived
what
in
do you
another state, maybe not.
Lag, what do you know? Talking about states are sending out fines. Does the internet even get to your basement, Lag?
That will be the downfall of whatnot if there is a downfall to it.
Right.
Because or even eBay live auctions. Because people and I don't understand the licensing procedures in these states. I get it. Back in the day, you were selling human beings, and that's why they made up all these laws. But they're old laws.
So, Harlan, welcome to the show. Better late than never. Says he's got friends that don't even resell to watch Crash Cash. I'm telling you, there's something to those three guys.
I don't have friends.
Everything doesn't have to be serious. Those guys have a lot of. You can tell they like hanging out together. They have a lot of fun. Because, like I said earlier, if you don't give each other shit, are you really friends to begin with?
If I could just apply for an auction license, I would do it. I looked recently and it was still, you had to go to school and things. If that has changed, somebody send me a link to give me the new laws because I couldn't find it. Because I'd spend $500 on an auction license. I wouldn't care because it'd be worth it to me.
Yeah, I think the way they get around it is as long as you're selling your own stuff. If you're doing, and I don't know many people that most of the people I've ever seen don't. I'm sure they're out there that are selling for others or that kind of thing. That'd be a
I bought all this stuff to put into my personal collection, and some of it, like this in my Wii collection, this Grease Wii game just didn't fit in the collection. I already have one, so I'm reselling this on Whatnot because it didn't fit into my collection. It's my personal collection.
Yeah, so
that's the disclaimer I'm going to say before every show.
So Kevin, Larry's got a point for you. If you could help some of us out by just in the description or wherever putting a timestamps of where y'all talk about reselling it all, and then so for those people who want to skip all the back and forth, now maybe the 3 minutes in there where y'all were doing something on reselling.
In Ohio, Harlan, if you are selling other people's stuff, that requires the license. That requires the auctioneer's school and all that stuff. If you're selling your own personal stuff, it does not.
But people forget. I could tell you.
Or charity. You can sell for charity.
I can tell you the appeal of Trash Cash. Not only are they're good guys, they're having a good time, but so many people in this business are do this by themselves and they don't have an outlet. And you really need, I've talked about this. You need to know other resellers. You need and you watch them. It makes you feel like you know those guys. A lot of people on YouTube think they know people, and then when you go to their meetups, they have a great time at their meetups. But it's a lonely business. This is a lonely business. Harlan, I think so. I think that's where the line is drawn. I think whenever you're selling other people's stuff.
So apparently they changed the laws in Ohio in 2022. So I'll have to go through and read them. You can sell under $10,000, it looks like, without getting the auction. So I'm still safe.
Mm-mm. So what else is going on? What else do we have to talk about in the world of reselling? Has any more doom and gloom happened that we should overlook?
I'm still trying to find this. There we go.
Yeah, Larry, my dad was a licensed auctioneer in North Carolina.
My dad was a licensed auctioneer in the state of New York, I believe.
Yeah, he was the place he worked at. He was the backup. He didn't do much, but he.
At least that's what he told me.
Tom Higgins said we got a new research tool. So what is the new research tool? Still this.
eBay has now made Terapeak mobile, and they call it product research or something like that. So you can do it on your phone now.
On your phone, instead of having to go through. There was a way to go through.
Yeah, I know that clause. That's why everything I bought is not for resale. It's for my personal collection. It just didn't fit in.
Yeah, Macari. So that was one of the things. So so Harlan and I, we at the yard sales, we went to a yard sale, and it's one of his friends from high school. So he's known her for like 5 years, and since he was out of high school, and she's a Macari seller. Her number one platform, her main platform is Macari. So I wanted to ask her specifically what has been her experience since the change. And she said her sales were down, but they were down for two reasons. She said she's enjoying being a grandmother, so she's not put as much effort in. But also, she's definitely noticed that she is, for what she's been doing and the level that she's selling, her sales are down. And that's what I was afraid of from Macari is I think all those extra fees and stuff, they're going to run buyers away. There's a fine line between. That's why I talk about eBay. eBay, I don't want eBay to be pro seller. I don't want them to be pro buyer. eBay should be right in the middle. They're here to facilitate a transaction. That's it. And at the end of the day, they are the middleman between facilitating a transaction. Because if you're pro buyer, you run away sellers. If you're pro seller, you run away buyers. And so you feel fair in the middle.
I think we're celebrating the wrong thing with Macari, them changing back to the old return policy. That's not the thing we should be worried about. It should be that fee that they put on the buyers and the sellers.
Running buyers off. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, we can celebrate both. I'm not saying we shouldn't, but the other is, I think, more important. Buyers are going to tell them that they'll just lose money, So I'm quickly going over the auction license requirements in the state of Ohio, and it does require you to go to school still, and I can't afford that. So,
yes, Larry.
If they had an online school, I would do it.
Amazon is changing their return policy in selected categories, and they are the higher return categories, clothing and several others. And they are actively, so the fraud returns and the returns are an issue, and the platform's fault because, well, eBay can say we want you to do free returns, because it doesn't cost them any money. I mean, sure, they lose a sale or whatever, but it doesn't cost them. Amazon is a seller, and their free returns, it cost them money, and they can only sell so much stuff. Amazon warehouse. So Chris says he has sold more items on Macari.
That may be true. I don't know. I don't think we know the long-term effects of this yet. But
correct.
My gut tells me that it's not going to be good for buyers. That's all.
And they actually do warn. I've seen articles where people have they're warned that they are a serial returner or a frequent returner, and warn them that their policy, their accounts are going to be restricted.
I was listening to a national radio show the other day, Dallas and what's his name in the morning on it was country radio, and they had a lady call in. She buys shoes on Amazon. She wears them for 30 days and returns them every pair. And everybody's like, "Oh, that's a great idea." No, it's theft, is what that is. Because
That's correct.
now
That's
I see it,
fraud.
and
Fraud.
at the end they said, "Well, you're screwing over a major corporation." No, you're not. You're screwing over Scott, and you're screwing over me, and you're screwing over somebody else, Dave. They don't. I mean, most people don't realize they're buying from third parties on there a lot of the time. And I just the blatant. Uh, she came out on national radio and said this. I mean, it wasn't like millions of people are listening to that now. If your shoe sales, you know, get a lot of returns now, you know why?
Well, just think. Well,
They didn't
here's
chastise her. It wasn't like you shouldn't be doing that.
well, if you want to rent a computer for a year, you can Amazon refurbished. If you buy their premium refurbished, the return policy is a year. You could use a computer
Yeah.
for a year and then send it back.
I saw another YouTube video on that, and
Or
the
he
guy
had to
had a
fight.
hard time returning it. Yeah.
They tried to charge him a stocking fee that it shouldn't have been.
Yes.
It
Yeah,
should,
you
I
saw the
saw
same
the same video. Yeah.
And he did it within a reasonable amount of time. It wasn't a year. It was like 30
No.
days.
It was in November. He bought it in November, and he's just trying.
Yeah.
The video just came out this week. So
Yeah. But anyway, he had a whole video about it, and that was good.
I would think that would be dangerous to Amazon because the prices, one thing I can tell you about Apple, this was an Apple product, is Apple, you're competing against Apple and Apple refurbished. And as they let out the new ones, which are the new computers will come out this summer, we just got new iPads. They put out new models every year. Even if you look at it and go, well, it's just an incremental update, but it reduces the value of the previous year, just like iPhones. When the 16 comes out, the 15 is worth a lot less. The 14 is worth even less. And so even though the 15 is only a year old, it's still not the new one. It's a model year older, just like cars. And so even if you're selling premium refurbished and given that long of so you could buy the 15 premium refurbished, use it for a year, and then give it back and buy the 17, skip the 16 altogether. There you go.
Hey, Genie, can you give me an idea of the name of one of those schools? Because when I went to the Ohio website, it gave a list of schools, but none of them were online. Because I'd be interested. I'd certainly would do it. I see the value in websites like Whatnot, and
so Kevin,
I'd like to do it legitimately.
See, Kevin, this is what I'm talking about. That's a great idea. It says I decided to try a local toy video game show as a vendor, trying something new. We got a friend here in town who eats with us. Who there was a toy show a couple weekends ago, and he sold a bunch of his Legos and stuff there. What's up, big girl? Stevie, did you come to tell everybody that you still like nobody? Or just yawn? I don't like y'all. I just like daddy. But I think that's a great idea. So what I really think, selling is going to be more localized. I think selling is going to be more social, and that's perfect as people put on these events. Bring people in there who know exactly what they're looking for. As a reseller, who was the best person to sell to as a reseller, especially in an environment like that where there's no returns, is you want a collector. You want somebody who understands what it's worth, is willing to, a lot of these events, they're paying to get into them, and they're looking for specific products, and they know what they're looking for. They are willing to pay for it because they know the value, and it's, I guess, much more value to them than was asked to an average consumer. So especially video games and older toys. It's anybody trading GameStop now? That's another good one. GameStop got halted yesterday.
You got what?
GameStop stock got halted again. That same thing that happened a year ago too. Stock was going up too fast for it was being manipulated, and the market didn't like that because you know what? They only like it when they do the manipulating. There you go. How dare the general public manipulate a stock and increase the value by buying more and those kind of things? That's the job of the government and the controls of the market. Come on now.
My background is squeaky clean. I'll look into it.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I think I agree with Steve. I think that might be that is a huge weakness of whatnot is their liability with auction law. But then I think that surely lawyers and stuff looked at this platform and that's not something
they're just it's the old eBay. They're just a facilitator.
They're angel invested. I don't think this is by accident. Yes, because if that's the case, then Poshmark is followed on with Poshmark Live, and they're doing those kind of things. eBay Live is going on, so there's I can't imagine that all these companies are doing these things and nobody checked to make sure that the legalities of it. But yes, definitely do your due diligence. Read the rules in your state. I would tell you to play it safe than willy nilly. I don't know how hard it is to get an auction license in Alabama.
I would love to see how much it's going to cost me. I can't go to school. There's no way. I mean, actual school. But I can do it online if there is one. So I'm going to look.
The school consists of 85 hours of instruction as required by the Alabama State Board of Auctioneers. Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah. And that's about the same as Ohio, I think. The auction laws are pretty similar over all the states, but some are easier and some are harder.
See, Larry, I don't think there's a crash in reselling. I think it's going to get progressively slower. And look at the economists and what they're forecasting for third and fourth quarters. It's not pretty. I truly think that that the economy is just gonna continue to grind down. And so, what makes me think that? Look at all the layoffs that are happening. And right now, I was reading something yesterday. There are big layoffs coming in these states, and happening right now in restaurants because they can't afford to pay somebody $25 an hour to make your Big Mac. They just can't. And so it's going to continue to get worse. There's going to be so many, and it's just I think it's the economic. It's just the pool of people who are buying. People are just not going to have any extra money. So remember, what do you sell in times when times get tough? Do you sell want things or need things? There are still people out there that are going to have money. They're going to buy whatever they want. Those people are going to exist all the time. But, where are the majority of people? They're going to be buying what they need. And so understand the difference.
Hey, Bobby, where in Northeast Ohio do you live? Because that's where I'm at, too. I don't think, looking at it here, this online school is $1,750. That's the school. That's not horrible. If you pay a 30 days in advance, it's $150 discount. Then it's $2,000 more for an auction license. And then you got to keep doing the continuing education stuff, which costs money. So is Whatnot worth it for me? I don't know. I'll have to really think about it.
Larry, we are definitely paying the price. And if you look at the system that has been created in this country over the last 100 years and understand that these corrections happen, they're called world wars. What was the U.S. economy had a huge correction with World War II. These wars are what reset. And if it wasn't for a crazy president getting elected when nobody thought he would, I think we'd already been in a world war. They had planned this stuff out. Go read their books. That's what they need to reset all this stuff. And look at the amount of money that's been printed over the last 3 years.
Mm.
Spent more money in history has been printed over the last 3 years than's ever been in existence. At some point, that has to end. There, that you can only keep robbing Peter to pay Paul so long. It's a giant Ponzi scheme. Our economy, the Federal Reserve is a giant Ponzi scheme that's built on top of the free market. You can only go so far before it has to crash. We're at the end of that cycle. It has to crash. I hate to be the one to tell you it has to crash.
Oh, but look, it's not crashing. The stock market is up. Record
Stock
highs
market is,
today.
and that's the killer. What are we basing the stock market up on? Companies laying off all these employees. Profits are not up everywhere. And if you look at profits, if profits are up, how many people look at it and go, man, I can't believe profits are up. Let's spend more money on this company. Look at the evaluations of companies in the stock market that are so overvalued that they would never be invested in any other time other than the last 5 years. And Patrick, I do agree with that. E-commerce will be viable as long as it's still cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also, it's not always about cost, Patrick, and you got to understand that. Convenience. Never discount that e-commerce just as much with the value proposition as it is the convenience proposition. I saw two ends of the spectrum. If you live in New York City, are you going to Walmart anytime soon? Is there a Walmart in New York City? I don't think so. Maybe I could be wrong, but I don't think there is. There was a Kmart at one time. It's closed. So how do you get goods and services? You're buying local, or you're doing these things, or do you order it online and have it delivered to your house? Same thing with my buddy Idaho hillbilly. He is an hour and a half round trip, or hour and a half for 70 miles one way to a Walmart in Idaho. It's much more cost effective to order stuff delivered by UPS to his house than it is to spend all that gas and effort and time to get the Walmart and back. And so the convenience factor of online is don't underestimate how much of a role convenience plays. Price will always be great, but convenience is just as big. And then, especially with the time factor, people live busy lives. And then you got people like Joni. She hates going to Walmart. She doesn't feel like, but she understands the prices, and a lot of stuff there they're much better prices. She'll let them put it in her car. She'll have them drop it off here. She'll do whatever. But yeah, I don't think it's going anywhere. I think it's going to be a permanent part moving forward. But just the one thing, that Blue Ocean Strategy book, the one thought that I had out of that book is the one that I thought was too boring, did not discuss. The important thought of that book is, though, it's right at the beginning where it just tells you 30 years ago, look at the businesses that are here now and are main parts of our lives. Do you think it's going to stay the same the next 30 years, or is there's going to be so many new businesses, there's going to be so many new opportunities? Life is going to change at a breakneck with AI and all that kind of stuff. Life is going to change so fast over the next 10 years that the stuff that you count on today, you're going to look at it and go, I can't believe we did that. Joni must have left because the dogs are out here crazy. Yeah, Larry. No, your business is definitely not immune from a bad economy, and that's why I've been talking about that today. Is when things happen, what do you do? Do you try new things? Do you try new markets, try new products? That's why you can't discount a platform like Whatnot. It's hot and everybody talks about it right now, but Is it the new way to move product? It's an extra option for you when sales are weak on eBay or Amazon or whatever? Don't limit your options because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Bobby loves a thrift. I said a lot of the YouTube girls said Poshmark Live are the best that happened to them. Yeah, we got friends across town that sell on it 3 days a week. Poshmark Lives. Good chunk of their business is sold on Poshmark Lives. She was on the show. They sell truckloads.
I'm wondering if you used Whatnot as a buy it now only show, would people actually buy it now? Instead of as an auction platform to get around those laws, would you guys still buy it now show? Obviously the stuff has to still be reasonable.
Okay, I sold another one. Now I'm out. Somebody has bought all of my things. I didn't update the pricing. Let's go up $1.
Darn it.
All right, I just put some more on there and I went up $1. We'll see. All right, Johnny's calling me just a second. Steve, carry on with the show.
Oh, no, don't make me do that. Kevin Arp says when when I started selling on eBay, I had to wait for the money order to arrive. I remember those days. I started in the 90s, late 90s, of course. And well-concealed cash was a thing. People would put cash in an envelope and paper and send it to you. It was like a 2-week turnaround for most things back in those days.
Yeah, I didn't start selling that early. I've only done it like 8 years.
Well, I was not a full-time seller back in those days. I sold enough, but I didn't even think of it as a full-time career. I thought of it as a part-time, every once in a while you'd find something cool at a yard sale, you'd throw it on eBay and make some money. That's all I ever did. It didn't occur to me until many years later, maybe 8 or 9 years ago, that you could make a living doing it. Oh.
Well, I'm glad I don't have to depend on eBay for my reselling eBay for my whole income,
Yeah.
I think I could do it because I don't work hard now. I maybe put in 20, 24 hours a week. If I had to, I could triple that and probably triple my profits. So I think I could get there if I had to, but
I know I could because
I'm
I've
glad I
done
don't
it.
have to,
When I was full-time, I wasn't really full-time. I might have put the same amount of time you put, 24, 30 hours a week. A lot of pretending I was working. I do a lot of research in the off hours, so I guess that's kind of working. But as far as if I put 40 hours a week in it, like a regular job, I guarantee I'd do really well. But that was always a thing. I didn't think I had to. We were fine. We were making the money, and then we weren't. So that's where I got to go.
Did y'all miss me?
No, not even a little. I did a really good job hosting this show by myself. I'm thinking
Tears,
about
crying, gnashing of teeth.
Nah, I changed my mind. Come back.
But that's why I switched several years ago to stopping talking about what I find. Doesn't matter what I find. I need to make some more yard sale videos because I enjoy taking y'all with me, but I'm just terrible about putting the camera on. But it doesn't. At the end of the day, we all sell widgets, and you've got to learn business strategy. You've got to be able to see, why things are happening and ask questions. And the questions are not poor pitiful me questions, or what can I do to improve my business? Where's the pivot? Where's the opportunity? Because I can tell you, your competition's not thinking about these things. They're their concern is going to the bins to buy more dollar clothing. No, it's at the end of the day, you've got to be responsible for your own business, and that means, you know, being a business owner and making the right decisions and continuing your education, which is what I'm working on now, is to make sure that you can survive bad economic times, good economic times, because there are different strategies and different things you do for good times and bad times. So I had a little bit of a different strategy, Javis. I like what Paul does. He'll show you his what he does on yard sales, and then he'll put those items up for sale and whatnot. I thought that was a great idea. That and also let people say, hey, let them comment. You should have bought that. We would have bought that on whatnot. So I don't know. I was gonna try it and see. Worst comes to worst, I'll quit again. So no big deal.
Paul has really slacked off of eBay. He used to do 30, 40 listings a day, and now it's almost all whatnot.
Oh, 100%. I talked to him about that, and he came on here with the Friday Night Show a few weeks ago or last week, and really talked about that his 90-day sales were, 2/3 down, but everything was on whatnot, and he was selling more items and making the same money on whatnot, but he was moving stuff and he wasn't storing and he wasn't listening. It was a lot of fun. Go watch Paul Philly Flipper on whatnot. Dude has a ton of fun. Makes it fun for the people watching.
He's got a lot of great ideas too on how to run one.
You can tip the host, and so if you tip the host, he plays your song on the piano. He's got a wheel, spins the wheel. He's got permanent stuff in there that you can buy. Just a lot of great ideas on how to run it. Everybody goes, oh, but he had a YouTube audience. You still got to keep these people. You've still got to run great auctions. You still got to have merchandise people want. Personality only gets you in the door so far. And this says very entertaining. I'm telling you, you can have a personality flaw like me, and I'll still sell stuff over there.
I'm a little nervous about it now that these people bring up this auction license stuff. I do not need a fine, so I'll have to look more into it before I decide whether I'm going to do more shows. I love the idea of whatnot, though.
It will be interesting. So Paul's a whatnot. I think he's an ambassador, or there's several of them out there. It'd be very interesting if they could get a representative from whatnot to come on one of the shows and just talk about these questions about how auctions can be held and how they get around the licensing requirements in each state.
My biggest issue is if I go through an auctioneering course, which I'd love to do, I've always wanted to, and I spent I just looked at North Carolina. It's $2,000. It's reciprocal, though. That their school will go for a bunch of states: Ohio, Pennsylvania, all sorts of places. $2,000 for the school, $2,000 for the. I'm spending $4,000. I got to sell a lot of whatnot shit to make that up, And I have a very small following currently.
Alabama requires an experience part of it too. You have to have so many experience hours before the license.
I'm a little nervous about I love whatnot. I love being there. I love doing the live shows, but do I really want to open myself up to the possibility?
Brian, no, they don't care that you have a following. They ask you, they want to know what kind of merchandise you have and that kind of stuff, but you don't have to have a following to do whatnot.
Woohoo, I got my social security check today.
I did not.
Me either.
$176 a month. Yeah.
Yeah, peddling profits. I understand that the licensing would be a business write-off, but it's an expense that I can't afford right now. My business isn't, performing super well because I'm not listing and stuff. It's doing okay.
So the last man says he sees more people going into buying storage units. I don't think there's any more than normal go in and leave. That craze was really high at the point of the show, the storage war show being so popular. I think that's faded a little bit. At least my perception is there's still great opportunity there. But never forget, those damn stores, they are a lot of work to clear one out and to sort the junk and all, and having to deal with it. Yeah, Patty. Your dad was definitely onto something in the early 2000s. If he was telling you that, you could own Amazon by then.
I'd be totally willing to spend, say, $500 on an online only auction license. Totally willing to do that. I am not totally willing to go for 85 hours of course training to maybe make a few dollars on whatnot here and there, you know, and
Right.
and then spending $2,000 on a license. So if the
Well, I
states,
mean,
if the laws
Steve,
change,
Steve, if you buy stuff to resell, isn't it yours? It's out of your personal collection.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, they
I don't
clearly
think you'd
state in
have
the
to have
law.
an auctioneer's license anywhere.
Yeah, you do.
If you
It's
buy it,
clearly
you own
states.
it. You're
Yeah,
not
but you're
selling for
buying it to
somebody else.
resell. You're
Huh?
buying it to resale though. And it clearly states in the laws that you cannot buy to resale auction style and not have a license. It clearly states that. So it's something that I'd love to, see somebody do some videos on that really knows what they're talking about. I mean, auction firm license, is it better? I don't know. Hire an auctioneer and pay them a percentage. You don't make enough on whatnot. I wouldn't make enough on whatnot to do that. I mean, some people probably do. But it is a question that needs answering, because are we going to get big fines for selling crap? And I don't want that. I don't need that.
Well, you should do the research and then make a video about it.
I have to find the time, but I could.
I mean, you're the one that's interested in it. Before
Sure.
paying all the auctioneer fees, I would sure look it up.
Yeah. Just from what I read, I've done this before. From what I've read, it looks like legally you really shouldn't be doing it without the licensing. Especially there's guys on there every day, and I guarantee they're not licensed. They're on there every day. Some of them are on there 8-10 hours a day selling stuff. And I'd be afraid at that point that the fine would be so big, and I know some of them are from the state of Ohio, and I know some of them are other places. Brian, the eBay has never gotten past that auction license thing. eBay gets away with it because they're just a platform. But these states have been trying to figure out how to do this for years.
Yeah.
So, and I guess now they're starting to send out fines. I'd like to know somebody who's gotten a fine, but they don't. So,
Yeah, I think it'd be a rarity. Yeah, Basson will say back in the day, New York State tried it and it got tabled.
yeah, I remember that. So, John, I guess, did a video about it. I'll have to look at it. I'm just interested because do I continue to do these and take a risk, or are they really going to come after me?
I think though, I think it'll be pushed by something has to happen somewhere. And I don't think that you will sell enough to be that person they go after. I think if they want to go after someone, they can go after one of these bigger. Because I can imagine there's not. You look at all the sellers and whatnot. There's got to be at least one person per state that's a pretty decent seller they can go after.
Oh, there's definitely bigger sellers than me. And from what I read in the auctioning laws, I can sell up to $10,000 and be okay. And I'm well under that. I would love whatnot to be a full-time thing. I enjoy the idea of it.
I wonder if there's a way to hire or to pay like a licensed auctioneer a little fee to use his license in your selling.
You could probably apprentice under an auctioneer, and that might get you by that. I know a few auctioneers. I can talk to them, but they're going to be on the side of the licensing board, because they had to go through that.
Kevin, you should have told me your comment was up there for like 3 weeks.
Oh, I was going to tell you, but I thought it would be funnier not to.
All right, so it's last 5 minutes before I go eat breakfast. So, woo.
May the good Lord bless and keep you.
I don't know if there'll be a show Friday night. There probably won't be because I'll be driving back. I'm going sourcing the next 2 days. So
On the road.
y'all will have to tune in. If you want to see me again before next Wednesday, you'll have to tune in to the Profit Playbook Podcast, aka 3Ps in a Pod. Make sure you subscribe to that. This last show was really good. So Josh Galt is now a threesome. I think it works a lot better with 3. That means I can be back in my normal role. John and Josh can be really serious. I can be the comedian. That's my purpose.
So I saw that Craigslist Hunter shouted out Josh. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Did a whole hour long video, over an hour long about it.
Josh had an interesting video that says, why even bother doing this?
Yeah.
Who cares? I think the name of it, who cares? Breakfast is overrated. Okay, but then we'll call it brunch.
Well, at this point, it would be brunch, wouldn't it? It's all not for you. It's only 9:46 in the morning for you. Here it's 10:46. So.
No, but I've been up since like 6.
Well, that's your own damn fault.
It's Harlan's fault. Harlan would not be lent out to come clean my gutter, so I had to climb up and down the ladders and make my legs sore. See?
So I've made a decision. Tonight, I will not be having a whatnot auction. I was going to. I haven't had a chance to set much of it up, but I was going to. I'm going to take another week off, and see where my mind fits into this whole thing, and see whether we continue doing them or not. I'll talk to my wife about it, and I'll do some research, because I really, where I'm at in life right now, I don't need to screw over the law. And because the way I know these states, if they can make a little money on anything, they're going to go for it.
Well, the one thing I would tell you is, if they knew how to do it, they'd have gone after eBay already. So I don't think there's. I think we're talking about it and discussing the possibilities. Yeah. But I think if there was truly a danger, eBay would have already been cannibalized, and all these other online auction sites would have been wiped out by now.
Well, I think what they're going to do, and remember when we were allegedly selling hand sanitizer, we didn't do any of that. But there was that one guy who went on TV and showed it off, and he got a huge fine, and that kind of thing. And so they're going to go after somebody who's big to set an example, is what they're going to do. I got a state attorney general letter. I don't know if you ever got one from the state of Ohio. No, from the state of Georgia, I got one because I was selling it. But that was as far as it ever went.
Yeah, and I think Larry's 100% right. They'll go after the platform first. The platform's got a lot more money.
It is something to think about, though. If you really want to start a business over on Whatnot, and I really do, because I like the platform, even though my shows have been shit so far. I mean, I haven't made a lot of money, but
your auctions stay too long.
Well, now, I need to learn how
15 seconds.
But and you need to build a following over there and all that stuff. But
you got to learn to play the piano.
Yeah, I have to learn to play the piano, but I'd love to just do that. It would be nice. You could flip the things the same day you get them.
Have Bigfoot make guest appearances.
I think it's smart.
How about Yeti instead?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think it's smart to have these conversations and to understand what the laws are, and to be it's smart to be cautious and to ask questions before you jump in. Head first into
John, I'm not afraid of this. I'm just I need to know the actual rules first.
Yeah, if fear can, we can invent all kinds of things to hold ourselves back. Now, just think about how many people don't do YouTube or won't go live or won't do any of these things because they're afraid. They're afraid of something.
But how many people in Ohio have gone on Whatnot auctioning for years?
Oh, I've bought a bunch of stuff from people in Ohio off of Whatnot.
So are they getting jammed up with this?
Not yet.
I mean, look at his YouTube. Todd is so ugly. He just shows you his hand.
But I know what the law says, and
Sure.
I know what the law says, and it says conducting business in the state of Ohio, and I am conducting business in the state of Ohio. It doesn't. I didn't see anything that specifies online though, so who knows? And
Yeah, I think
like a lot of people say, I've been selling auction style on eBay for 30 years without any issues. I don't tend to sell that way, but I have here and there. So who knows? But tonight I'm taking the night off and think about it, and then I'll get back to it.
all right. But Jabez said he's got to get to work, and I need to get to work. So
Well, it's Javis's own fault.
let me be the first one to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year as we go about the middle of May here. My encouragement to you is to stay on top of your business, to really continue to focus on opportunities that are ahead of you. You see the glass, you can see it half empty, half full. Half full, you see the opportunity that is Whatnot. You see the opportunity that is live auctions. You see the opportunity that is a new sourcing method, a new, you see the oncoming business, the oncoming client, and it looks like it's going to be a down economic for the rest of the year. Do you see that as a negative and go, oh my God, my sales are going to be terrible? Or do you see it as that's an opportunity for me to sell things people need in order to maintain, my life, your life, and support yourself? So see the glass half full and get about, make sure your business survives.
Sweetwater out.
Bye.
That's Todd's famous last words is bye, roll tide.
Happy birthday.